Hey there, fellow fantasy football freaks. Here we are. It's week 4 already. We're just blasting through this. But here you go. We're going to do your week 4 Tinker Stinker Power Hour. And here we go. Hey, look, we're starting on time and shit's not fucked up yet, right? Hey, I got some of these issues figured out. We're good to go. Told you I'd figure it out eventually. StreamYard still fucking sucks. I'm looking for a better streaming service, and we'll definitely get there. Now, we're gonna hopefully there's more people piling in here. I think like a lot of people are like looking at it going, yeah, right, dude. Every week I come on and your shit's fucked up. It's like, what am I gonna do about that? No, we're good. Everything's rolling well this week. Hey, we got some good morning stuff going on. Let's go. Vibe sent for a perfect week. Hey, thanks, Don. I appreciate that. Vibes coming right back to you for your perfect week. I appreciate all the good vibes and love. Go Yachty, what's happening? Oh, yo, what's up, man? If you don't know who Go Yachty is, go check that shit out. It's really like interesting. This guy is setting up like his fantasy football. This whole thing, there's like free leagues and stuff, like tons of. It's kind of like a Scott Fishbowl startup, so to speak. It's like he's trying to get that kind of thing going. Hey, go support him. Go check it out. Go Yachty. Good shit. Good morning. What's up? Is it Cote or Cody or something like that? It's COTE. I know that's it, but like I feel like I want to call you Cote, but it's probably like Cody or something. Anyway, what's up, man? Erica, big old smile every morning. What's up? Good morning. Hey, hashtag Tyrant Gang. Gotta love it. Matt, let's fucking go. Let's do it. Hey, we got it going good this morning. Let's roll it in. Let's keep people rolling in. Hey, if you know other people that need this information, go hit them up. Send them a link for this show. Say, hey, come on. This guy's got all the best answers for your burning fantasy questions. So we're doing things a little bit different this morning. And we'll get to that in a second. Cheers and happy 420. Hey, Matt, we're going to get to the 420 part here in a moment. We're going to get to questions here in just a second. Pronounce Cody or Cote or Cody Coat Magoats. Coats Magoats. I'm going to start calling you Coats Magoats just for the fun of it. All right, Coats Magoats, thank you. Hey, what's up, Lamar? Good morning. Good to see you. So it's, as you can see, we got a chair right here next to me. It's empty. It's ready to fill it up. All right. So we're going to kick everything off here. We're going to do our usual shit with the opening fucking smoke. We got like the morning pour we're going to do, but I got a special guest for that this morning and for everything else. We're going to do things a little bit different today. All right. So, I'm not going to have my normal like sleepers and streamers and shit like that because we want to answer the questions for your specific team. You sit there and you listen to me blab on about my sleepers, and it's great, and I have a good record with them, and it makes me look good. But it doesn't always answer your questions. You got to read through it. So we're doing just a Q&A this week. Nothing but Q&A, nothing but answers to your questions. And we're going to, we're going to see as topics come up, we're going to talk about different topics because that's what me and this guy do all the time, just not on camera. But we're going to be doing on camera now, ladies and gentlemen. My very special guest, for those of you who, some of you may know him, as in many different things. We've had him as a guest, before. You may know him as, Uncle Vinny, Coach Caliendo. For those of you who are playing on Sleeper, if you're in some of the leagues that I'm in, this guy's in. If you see him, his name is Calvin and Dobbs. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my buddy Vinny. Vinny, come on in. Vinny Caliendo, ladies and gentlemen, going to help me answer some questions here. How you doing this morning, Vin?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I know you don't smoke the reefer, but we're going to light this shit up anyways. Deal with it. But we will get you the drinks ready. What the fuck is this shit? We do giveaways. I got a giveaway in my fucking J this morning. That's cool. All right. We'll check that out later. Got news rolling in, things like that. We're still going to talk about injuries. We're still going to talk about, weather and shit. But I'm just going to be answering your questions. So get those questions there in the comments. I see it filling up already. We're going to get there in just a moment, though. So let's start it up. Good morning, everyone. Here we go. First day of the day. Wake and bake. I forgot to tell you. The name of this is Tang Breath. Tang breath, yeah. I like to wake up in the morning with a little tang breath, don't you?
Yeah.
Hey, no problem with tang breath in the morning. We all love that. All right. Some good mornings coming up here. So we're going to do the morning pour. Let's both do one. Hey, open it up. All right, bring up the glasses. I'm going to get this over off as a little ASMR action. Hey, we're going cheap this morning with the PBR. Don't fucking blame us. PBR, the best cheap beer you can get. I don't know. It's probably not going to come out in the audio, but anyway. Nice big head on that. That's what we like, good head, right? You're a much better pour than I just had you pour mine. Oh well, hey, who cares? Hey, cheers. Good morning, football. Week 4 already. We're getting through these injuries. It's fucking madness, but we're gonna help you navigate this shit because there's a lot of injuries and we don't know. Should we start the backups? Should we start someone else? Hey, that's why we're here. All right. Good morning. Oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Got more people rolling in here. Hopefully we'll get more as we go. I'm looking here. We got it. Yeah, lots of stuff going on. What's up, Tyrant Gang? Harpreet. Good morning, sir. Good to see you. Any other good mornings here before we get to the questions? No, we got a lot of good questions here. Taking a look. So yeah, get your questions in because we ain't doing any of the other shit this morning. I'm going to skip past the sleepers. I might still talk about some sleepers. Also, some guys that I think are buy lows, sell highs. That shit might come up. We're just kind of gonna ad lib this. We're gonna do this like old school style. This is how Vinny and I do it all the time. We're just doing it on camera this time. All right. Don't worry if he's quiet. He's not his fucking show. He'll chime in when he wants, and when I say it's okay, he's my bitch. I'm just kidding, man. All right. Let's get the fucking show on the road here. Let's find a question. Where's the first one? What we got? Hey, what's up? Coats McGoats asked me, would you go Akers today or Kenneth Walker Monday? Not sure of his volume. Here's my initial thought is just like go Ken Walker. But I do see why, we got the question there of like, okay, well, number one, and this is something you and I were talking about. We were just talking about it. Yeah, and that's that Charbonnet has shown that, obviously he can play. It's not like we didn't know that going in. Actually, I'm going to move the microphone over here so that it captures you a little better. Hopefully that doesn't look like shit on the fucking stream, but whatever. Hold on. Yeah, it looks fine. So anyway, this is something we were talking about last night. So let me pull it up here. Now we know
he was limited.
He was limited, but I mean, he's going to play. They've already cleared him that he's going to play. However, he is facing Detroit, and they've got the number one rush defense right now. Now, I mean, I know it's only through 3 weeks, but they're no joke. We know that. This is a defense we got to look out for when we're starting our running backs. Now, Kenneth Walker, he's great. I love him. I think he's very underrated. And the only reason why people are probably rating down on him is because they're afraid of what Charbonnet can do, and that could eat into his production. Now, we've been seeing last, couple weeks that, Charbonnet can play. Well, we know that he can play going in, but now we've actually seen it. And since we've actually seen it, there's no denying it. And if there's no denying it, then, you have to, the coaches have to let Charbonnet do his thing too. So that does raise a concern. And plus it ain't a good matchup. So those things, it makes it a good question. The thing with Akers is, he's not going to be facing a couple, Mixon's out, we already got that out of the way. Mixon's out, Pierce is out. He's going to be the main guy. And it's not like he can't go. He's had injuries in the past. He's still very talented. When he has been able to go, he's been somewhat serviceable. Last week, he had 21 yards only on 9 attempts. That ain't very good. But he's getting targets as well. He got 3 targets, only 1 reception. He got that touchdown, kind of saved your day last week. I'm really concerned about his usage in this offense. I think they're going to be probably throwing a lot more. I think Jacksonville, they've been shit in the bed so far this season. I think in a division game, they're probably going to play a little bit harder. It's not to say that Cam Akers isn't going to be utilized. It's just at, how much. I don't know. What do you think, Vinny? If you on this question, where would you go with this?
Oof. It's a good one. I mean, I like Ken Walker. I'm a Seahawks fan, but coming off an injury,
With Charbonnet in there,
yeah, against Detroit.
it's not a good matchup. It's not the best situation, but I don't think it's necessarily the best situation for Akers either. Do I really want to sit Walker?
I'd probably go Ken Walker
for Akers, and that's the thing is like because those things could happen. We could see Charbonnet worked in more. We could see Kenneth Walker. We're not hearing anything as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I can see, and I'll double check right now, but I'm not seeing anything about a pitch count. He's not, questionable anymore. I've got Walker in a bunch of leagues, and I think I'm starting him pretty much in every league that I have him. Again, we're through 3 weeks, and I'm not saying, like I said, Detroit's, no slouch. However, Kenneth Walker has shown that he can hold his own in pretty much any matchup. He's got no injuries going into this. He practiced limited on Thursday and Friday. I think he's going to be fine. Now, like I said, it is a tough defense, so that's why that's such a hard question for me. Really, it's a coin flip, and I'm going to stick with Walker just because. We know he can get it done. Akers is just not even when he has that backfield, he's not showing much. Like I said, a touchdown saved his game last week. I'm not a big fan of starting any of these guys. If you have other options, let me know, because you might want to fill in something there as well. There might be some better options, but between these two, I'm gonna go Walker. What do you think?
Yeah, Walker for me too.
But what do you think about Charbonnet cutting into his production? Any thoughts on that, Mr. Seahawks fan over here?
Yeah, showing what he did when Walker was out, he's probably going to get more touches. So, but Ken Walker's always breaking plays.
Yeah,
he's always breaking plays.
Exactly, and so that's the thing they could stop him a bit, but then he could break off a big one, and you got him sitting on your bench. You're like, fuck, why the fuck did I sit him? That's like one of those things where I bring this up sometime, where it's like, well, what's going to suck more? If you start Cam Akers over Ken Walker, Cam Akers over Ken Walker. Walker has a good game and Akers sucks. Or if you start Kenneth Walker over Akers and Akers has a mediocre game and Ken and Walker is the one that sucks. Honestly, I'd rather start the stud and watch him suck than watch him fucking blow it up on my bench while I got Q with it. Now, that's not always my advice. Usually it's not. In this case, I'd say, it's kind of one of those sort of things. I like Walker this week. Good, very good question, though. That's a good one to start off with. Don, good morning to you. Hopefully everything's going well in your life. One of my biggest fans, the long-lasting, loyal fans. Good to see you every Sunday morning. Tyreek or Deontay Johnson?
Last week was weird with Carolina, too.
Yeah. A couple of factors there. Okay, so obviously with Andy Dalton being in there, it's made that offense better, because that just shows how much Bryce Young sucks. Yes, we know the Panthers are, as a team, aren't all that great, but Bryce Young sucks. And Dalton showed that he could connect with these guys. He hasn't even, it's in his first week as a starter, he already made some of these guys look better. So let's take a look at Johnson real quick. Deontay Johnson was somebody that I thought going into the season, was going to take a step up as the leader in that offense. That this is an offense that was going to need to throw a lot, that they were going to need to go to their pass catchers a lot more, at least until Jordan Brooks got back. Chuba Hubbard's had been playing all right. Now, Deontay Johnson, as soon as the Red Rocket came in, boom, all of a sudden, 14 targets, 8 receptions, 122 yards, and a touchdown. You can't argue with that production. He's not really facing a lot of competition there for targets, especially with Thielen going down.
Yeah, and they're going to be playing from behind, probably get Cincinnati.
Yeah. So that's a good point too. Cincinnati's defense is okay, but I'm not as worried about that. I think that's a good point. I think that Cincinnati's starting to roll in offense. They're going to need to go battle back with that. That all being said, are we really gonna sit Tyreek Hill? I get it. It's Boyle. All right. That makes my blood boil. That, we're going to deal with this with Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's going to have, better games, better weeks, better, offenses to play in, especially if Tua comes back. Now, I think Boyle is actually going to be a plus over Skylar Thompson. Jesus Christ. Lots of injury news coming in here, folks. I don't know if you can hear my phone going off, but I'm getting a lot of attention there. So anyway, what was this? Oh yeah, Boyle. I think Boyle is almost like an upgrade to Skylar Thompson. I think we, if we're going just based on what we saw last week, but that's right. I'm sorry. Huntley's the starter. Huntley's starting. Sorry, folks. So much information has been changing on this. I didn't get caught up on that. Yeah, Huntley's starting. It's so unknown, but it's like, that if they're gonna go with anyone, they're gonna go with Tyreek. But from what we've seen without Tua, it's hard.
And the one thing I learned is even if he's a backup, got a quarterback, if you got a veteran in there, he's going to do his job. He's going to at least get passes in his Tyreek.
Right.
So you can't count him out.
No, that's very true. And with Huntley in there, I think I trust him a little bit more than Boyle, a bit more than Skylar Thompson. It's not the world's greatest matchup, but it's not the worst either. That's a good question. Normally I'd be like, start your studs, but yeah, that's actually a really good one. And personally, I'm leaning toward Deontay Johnson as a start.
Yep.
I like that. Again, this is one of those things that if you have Tyreek on your bench and he blows it up, you're going to be pissed. So if you're in a matchup where you think you've got it, it's not a big deal. Start your stud, go with Tyreek Hill. If you need to get cute with it to get a win, plug in Johnson in there. It's a risk, but honestly, what we're looking at right now, it's not a good matchup. It's not, you got Huntley, he's learning, he's being plugged in after, I don't know. It's just so shaky there right now. I would give this 1 week to wait and see on Tyreek. I'm not saying you should sit him in it, in every situation. But I think Deontay Johnson getting the bulk of the receptions for the Panthers, I think that's going to make a big difference. I think that if you need to get cute with it, get cute with it. If you're solid and you just you want to make sure to get I'd say a better floor maybe. I don't know. Actually, not really. Yeah. Honestly, it's just a straight up start. It's a straight up start over Tyreek. Wow, I can't believe I'm saying that. Yeah. It's a good thing I didn't do my rankings this week. I might be contradicting myself, but anyway, start Johnson. Don't blame us if Tyreek fucking blows it up. But yeah, it's not a bad start. Joe Mixon's out. My plan is to bump Najee, who's in my flex, the running back spot. And I can either flex Pollard or Amari Cooper. Thoughts on who to running back and who to flex? I think you got it right on the running back. I think that under Arthur Smith's regime right now, they like to run the ball. Warren is out this week, so Najee's not going to be facing a lot of competition. I'll try to move this over a little bit. Oop, there we go.
Man, Najee's his last few years, though.
What's that?
I said Najee's these last few years.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying is with the new offense, I think it's playing into his strengths, and he's doing a lot better this year. The thing is, he's always kind of had that talent. It's just he's never really put it together because the offense has been terrible, and he's got Warren, eating into his production. So I think that's been really the problem with Najee. So actually, I like Najee this year. I was big on him going into the year because of the change, because of Arthur Smith's offense. I think we're actually seeing that come to fruition. I like Najee in the running back spot. As far as your flex goes, it's PPR. That's going to lean me a little bit toward Cooper. We saw what he did last week. I think that as the season goes on, and this is something I was saying in the preseason too, because this is really the first full uninterrupted kind of like off season that Watson has had in this offense, and I feel like as the season progresses, that's going to gel more and more. He's already been gelling with Cooper even last season. And again, it's PPR, so that leans me a lot toward starting Cooper in that position. They're going against the Raiders. Raiders are complete trash. They're a bottom 10 defense against wide receivers in fantasy, excuse me. And last week, Amari Cooper, look at the target share. Okay, so week 1, 9 targets. He only had 2 receptions off that because shit was shaky. Dallas defense, they're pretty good against the pass, at least. And then next week, Jacksonville, 8 targets, only 3 receptions. Again, they were kind of off, but then they got things gelling. I know it's easier to do it against the Giants, but believe it or not, the Giants aren't even as bad as the Jaguars, as far as pass defense goes. And then so he comes in, last week, 12 targets, 7 receptions for 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm not going to say he's going to have another 2 touchdown game, but having double-digit targets is not outside of the question. And if you're getting double-digit targets in PPR, you're starting to gel against a shit fucking offense. Yeah, I like me some Amari Cooper this week. Pollard, it's not to say he's going to have a bad week. That's actually you have a good situation there, Don. It's one of those good problems to have. He's going up against Miami. They're beat up. They're not going to be putting up as much offense as they normally would. So that gives Pollard an opportunity. But I mean, even when given the best of opportunities, like for instance, the first 2 weeks, 16 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown, and then 17 carries for 62 yards. Now, of course, against Green Bay, they had to drop the script for running. He only had 6 attempts there, but he's getting targets in the backfield as well, which is why it's like, okay, I'd say this is one of those things where I think, Pollard could have the higher floor, but Cooper's got a much higher ceiling. What do you think? What are you going on this?
I would go Cooper.
Same. I mean, I think it's
I don't even think about it.
Really?
Yeah, I would go Cooper.
Maybe I'm putting too much thought in it. You might be right about that. Yeah, let's go Cooper with that one. I like to give him a little bit of meat on the bone there, Yeah. You don't, just to give him something, a reason to do it. All right.
Well, this is actually one of the questions I've had because I was thinking about playing Michael Wilson.
Go. I'm guessing Michael Wilson with McBride out, or risk a good game from Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk came back to earth, he regressed to the median. By that I mean he had a decent game last week. Now we were just talking about this last night too.
I have Brian Thomas.
Right.
So I was thinking of either playing him or Mike Wilson.
Right. And so this is almost the same kind of a question. Now, here's what it comes down to for me is you got to consider a couple things. First of all, Lawrence Taylor. Fucking. Oh my God, Trevor Lawrence. Jesus Christ. I couldn't have been fucking way more off. Anyway, Taylor Lawrence is I think he's going to end up being a bust as a QB overall. Hate to say it, but we're not really seeing enough from him. Last week Christian Kirk had 10 targets for 8 receptions, 79 yards. So in PPR, that's not bad. I mean, that's a good day. The problem with this though is, okay, so he's going up against Houston. It looks to be a better a better matchup. But I think Brian Thomas is going to take a lot from him. Yeah. I think we may see a little bit more Strange this week. Etienne's going to do his thing. So, I was bigger on Christian Kirk going into the league than going into the season than a lot of the analysts were. And I still think we could see him become more and more involved and get more and more attention and targets. I mean, we see a little squeaky wheel treatment after getting 4 and 3 targets the first 2 weeks, and he gets 10 in week 3. So we're definitely seeing an uptrend for Kirk. I'm less worried about him than I was before. But I think that's a good point with McBride out. I mean, Marvin's gonna get his. Marv's gonna get his. Connor's gonna do what he's gonna do. Okay,
but he's a clear number 2.
But yeah, I mean, and Mike Wilson's been someone, and this is someone that I was talking about in the preseason as someone who I was higher up on than a lot of other analysts. We saw some sparks from him last season, and I felt, this season going in, he could be the number 2. He's been taking a back seat to some of the other players there. But then last week he comes out, he gets 9 targets, 8 receptions for 64 yards. No touchdowns. It ain't lighting up the scoreboard. But I mean, in PPR, what's that?
So look at their plan now. Washington.
Yeah.
Worst defense.
Washington's the worst defense against wide receivers, or maybe the worst defense in the league. I expect big things. I like Michael Wilson this week. It's kind of a chintzy play, maybe, because now Kirk's finally putting it together. Are we really going to sit him now? It's just, and when we go to the matchup, and all the circumstances therein, I think, in an interdivision matchup, I feel like there's going to be some points scored, and Kirk could hit a touchdown, but so could Thomas. It's just so much confusion going on there right now. If we see one more really good, solid game here from Kirk, I think we do have to kind of put him in at least as a weekly flex play, set him and forget him going forward. He is then what we were hoping he would be, but it's hard to tell, right now if that's going to be the case. Thomas is getting a lot of attention. That's a really good question, but I'm going to go with the sneaky play there and go with Mike Wilson. So good question. That's the answer. Calvin's here. What Calvin Ridley?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, Calvin and Dobbs. Yeah. Good one. Hey, let's fucking clink them. Clink them and sink them. Let's go. Gus. What's up, Gus? Over there in the UAE. Darnold or Fields?
I don't know. Darnold's been playing pretty out of his mind, man, with Justin Jefferson.
Well, yeah, I mean, right there is the answer to, that's what it is. With quarterbacks, you're either going to go, the studs are going to do what they're going to do. Right. The mobile quarterbacks, especially, like we're looking at Hurts this week without his targets. He's still probably going to have a good week because he's going to get there with his legs. It doesn't matter who he's throwing to. With Sam Darnold, I think it does matter. I think in a good offense, Sam Darnold plays well. In shit offense, Sam Darnold plays shit. Sam Darnold plays to his offense, and that's what we're learning. That's a good offense there. You got Addison coming back. Yep. You got Jefferson there. They're at Lambeau Field, and it's a big match against a rival team. Yeah,
I think it's gonna be two defenses are good, but I think it's gonna be a nice scoring game on that one.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. And Fields, I think Fields is he's better than advertised. I mean, that's really the best I can say about him at this point. I was actually, I think that he was underrated in a lot of ways, in fantasy included. I think he's starting to put things together now. He's running less, throwing more, which is going to be good from an NFL standpoint. But from a fantasy standpoint, I don't like it as much. So yeah, give me Darnold this week. Good one, Gus. So Matt, damn, ETN, you have faith in him today. As we talked about, I have Moss on my bench. Only mention him due to his matchup. Maybe, I don't know. Well, the problem with that matchup is he's still got Chase Brown there. And we know that Chase Brown has talent, and at any week he could overtake. They're gonna it's a running back committee between the two of them there. I know Moss has actually looked like the better back, but they're not giving up on Chase Brown.
No, but they showed that they could do both. Last week, what was it? Chase had like 17 points and Moss had like 16, something like that. So
yeah. So yeah, Moss had a good game, 12 attempts, 58 yards rushing. The story on Moss is working out of the backfield there, 6 targets, 5 receptions, 39 yards. So you're looking at, in PPR, that's a good play.
Yeah.
And
anytime a running back can get passing attempts.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But to your point though, too, or to my point, I guess, Chase Brown's still in there. Mm-hmm. And that's gonna take some things away. It's a good matchup. Let's rethink this for a second. We think it's a good matchup against Carolina, but with Andy Dalton in there now, I think that Carolina's scoring a lot more, or we'll be able to score a lot more, and that will keep it being more of a throwing pace rather than a running pace. But Etienne, someone I was, of course, really big on coming into the season. He was very big last season. And he gets volume. That's right. That's right.
It's hard to not pick a running back.
I mean, absolutely. Although if you look at his attempts, he hasn't had more than 13 attempts so far this season, but he's also getting targets. He's also getting receptions. Now, that's a really good question. I'm going to go back to what I was saying earlier, where I just worry about Chase cutting into Moss's production. I think Moss is going to have those good weeks, and but we don't know who's going to. I don't know. Etienne's not really losing all. Well, okay, Bigsby's back. That's something we have to consider too. And let me look at what Tank's been doing, because like last season we thought, okay, maybe he could cut into him. Now he in the first game, he he got 12 attempts, 73 yards. So it was almost a split backfield. And then he comes back last week. He's only got 2 attempts. I'm not really too worried about Tank taking it away from Etienne. My personal recommendation on this is that you start Etienne over Moss. It's close. What do you think?
Yeah, if you're 3-0, I'd probably go Etienne. But if you need a win, I go Moss.
That's it's kind of one of those sort of things. Like if you feel like you need the fucking a miracle, you need a change at the guard there. You could go Moss and get cute with it. Otherwise, if you're standing solid there, you stick with Etienne. I trust that to regress to the mean, if not this week, eventually. And Moss, again, I'm afraid of him splitting time with Chase Brown. I think Chase Brown is going to get more attention as the season progresses. So anyway, that's the thing. If you need to get cute with it, go Moss. If you think you're solid, you got a good week going for you. Otherwise, stick with Etienne. Good one, Matt. Tang breath. Yeah, I got some lemon pound cake. Yeah, this Tang breath is pretty good. It's pretty good. Feels nice, and it's not fucking me up and making me sound mush mouth or fucked up on the show. So hey, let's go with it.
Lemon pound cake.
Lemon pound cake. Lamara says, mention Garrett Wilson, Christian Kirk, and Jennings starting Akers, Ford, and Shakir instead. What you say, boss? I say no. Right away. Now, Debo's back this week. Yeah. You can basically everyone take Jennings out of your lineup.
Yep.
Period. Could he still have a good week? Yeah. Ayuk's been jaw-jacking with Kyle Shanahan a little bit. Now, one school of thought, it's like, well, then he might get punished. I don't think so. I think it's a squeaky wheel situation. I think Ayuk actually does a good week this week. I think Debo's back. I think Jennings is going to be the odd man out there. As well, and Kittle's back this week too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Jennings, he might get a touchdown. That's lucky. If he does, it's lucky. I ain't starting him this week.
I don't think you're ever benching Garrett Wilson.
No, I right. Like I get it. It's been, but actually, let's take a look at something, because there was something interesting about Garrett Wilson. We know that he's talented. We know that he can do it.
It's just going to get better with him and Rodgers.
Right. As exactly. And as the season progresses, it is just going to get better and better. It's not a good matchup against Denver. I give you that.
No, they do have
against Pat Surtain.
But it's Rodgers. He'll find a way to get to Garrett.
To get it to Garrett.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So look at the targets, 11, 6 not so well in week 2, but last week he had 9 targets, 5 receptions. It's getting better as we go forward. I see why you have that question there. And I think it's kind of the same as the last one. If you're sitting good and you just need a solid start, stick with Garrett Wilson there. But if you're like you're going nuts and you need to make a big play, and the problem is, which of those 3 are you gonna start over Garrett Wilson? Honestly, here's what I would do. If these are obviously they're flex plays because you're talking about running back in there with a wide receiver. So if that's what's going on, I mean, if you got to start Akers at running back for the sake of starting, running back, I'd almost go with Ford. Actually, I go with Ford over Akers. Let's put it that way.
So Garrett, Christian Kirk, and Ford.
Excuse me.
Jennings.
Yup. There you go. Take out Jennings, put in Ford, Garrett Wilson, Christian Kirk, and Ford. I think Christian Kirk, is a more solid play this week than Akers or Shakir. I mean, Shakir's like, we thought coming into the season, like, okay, well, he could be the top guy. Cool. Then they drafted Coleman. I'm like, okay, what about him? And then Curtis Samuel's been doing a thing. And then then Mac Hollins is doing. We just don't know. You can't really rely on any of the Bills wide receivers yet until we see one that's consistently being the guy getting it.
And I think Keon Coleman, he had his first big game last week. The first show, because I think the first 2 weeks were duds.
I think didn't he have an okay first week? I thought so.
Maybe he did have an okay.
Excuse me. I mean, a burp in your ears.
But
everybody.
I know he showed up in the 3rd week.
Yeah, and so you got a primetime game going on. Yeah, he had 5 targets, 4 receptions, 51 yards in week 1. Uh-huh. And then squadoosh in week 2.
Yeah. Oh, so I guess he had a touchdown.
Yeah, and then he had a touchdown last week. That kind of saved his ass. He had 1 target, 1 reception for a touchdown. I just, Shakir might be the guy there, like we thought kind of in the beginning. The problem with that, though, or trying to predict that, is we're only 3 weeks in. And when you look at Shakir, the touchdowns have kind of saved them. He has been the top receiver in that offense. Let's look at sorry. Woo. Mine went good weed. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah, Curtis Samuel's not really getting much going on there. And then what am I doing? C. Sorry. Dalton Kincaid. He's of course a threat to take things. And again, we just don't really know how that's shaking out. Shakir is kind of the top guy there. If anything at all, I'm saying start. You might want to consider starting Shakir over Christian Kirk. So if anything, I'm going Garrett Wilson. I definitely want in there. Take Akers out. Ford and Shakir. Either Shakir or Christian Kirk. Now, wait, if it's PPR, you might consider Shakir over Ford. But I think I was looking at it, and again, like we were saying kind of earlier with Cooper, is that the Browns offense is, because they've been trying to deal with no Nick Chubb. That changes their offense entirely. So Jerome Ford is getting the attempts. He's going up against Las Vegas. It's a great ass matchup. I like it. In good matchups, he can play well. I think, as like I said, that offense is starting to gel a little bit. Yeah, I like Ford there. So yeah, Garrett Wilson, Ford, and either Christian Kirk or Shakir. And if I were to choose one right now, gun to my head, I'm probably saying Kirk. But if you like Shakir that much, stick with him. It's really a coin toss, honestly.
That might be a high-scoring game, too, against Baltimore.
Yeah. So, you know what? Actually, let's do it. Let's put Shakir in there instead of Kirk. Again, coin toss. It's really, if I were the gun went through my head and I picked one and now I'm going on the other.
It all depends on your record, man. If you need to win now.
Yeah. So there you go. Shakir or Kirk. Flip a coin. Leaning Shakir. Great question, though. All right, what's up? I'm glad that we don't have anything but questions because I wouldn't be able to get to anything else. All right, sit one. We got Jones, Walker, Etienne, Ford. Standard scoring. Standard, huh? It's Walker or Ford. I think, everyone was up on Chandler taking some stuff away from Jones. I think Jones has proved himself. I don't think he's what he used to be. I'm not, he's not. He's someone.
I really like him.
Yeah,
I do. Everybody always talks bad about him. Oh yeah, he's getting older. He's never stopped doing what he does.
19 attempts for 102 yards last week. He's been solid. 6 targets, 5 receptions. He's getting the receptions. He's getting the attempts. He didn't have a great game against San Francisco, but a lot of people don't. That's San Francisco for you. So, we're 100% agreed on Jones there. Etienne, kind of same as before. He's gonna get that volume. Ford and Walker, that's where it's between. What do you think? Who are you going with, Ford or Walker?
Sit one.
Standard scoring. Not that matters all too much.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I really like Walker too.
Yeah. Again, Walker's going up against the Lions, so it is a tough matchup. He's going to be sharing with, especially in his first week back, we're probably going to see some share with Charbonnet.
I know Seattle might be flexing to go 4-0, top of the division, baby.
Stop with that. Well, stop if you've heard this before. Let's see. The 49ers have all their injured players, the best players injured. Stop. They have a loss to the Vikings. Stop. They lose a couple games. Stop. Seattle takes over the number 1 spot in the West. Stop. Oh, and how did that turn out last season? The 49ers went to the Super Bowl. I know we didn't win, but we went to the goddamn Super Bowl. And you guys, did you even make the fucking playoffs?
No, I don't. We have a whole different team, man.
Anyway.
Yeah. Probably I don't know. I'd sit Ford.
I'm with you on that one. I'd sit Ford. It's very close.
Yeah,
it's very close.
I don't know if I can sit Walker.
Now I can see why you might think, okay. But it's like whenever we think that's going to happen, like they keep going back to Walker because he's a great running back. Dude, we knew he was fucking great coming into the league. He showed it in his rookie season. We thought that Charbonnet was going to cut into him last season. He didn't. We thought Charbonnet was going to cut into this season. He hasn't. Now, excuse me. Now, of course, obviously, Charbonnet showed that he can play, and we know that. And that's going to get him a few more touches. But I think in this game, if we're going with game script, they're going to need to throw a lot, but Gino's not all that great. With that, I think that we're going to probably see some more targets, for both running backs, really.
You know what? I'm a Seahawks fan. It's Monday night. Screw it. Kenneth Walker in. It's going to be a big game. He's coming back. I'm shutting it down.
Yeah. I am not as honestly, I almost want to go Ford over Walker. But I just like Kenneth Walker so much. If he's ready to go, you got to fire him up. Yeah. It's so close. That is such a close one right there. That might be the hardest one right there. And I know why you're asking that. I know that's probably not helping you too much. We're not in full agreement. We definitely say it's Jones and Etienne. It's definitely between Walker and Ford. And Kenneth Walker, he's a better running back. I think that with the Browns, they may need to go to the air a bit. But let's look at something real quick. Just because, so Yes, it's a great matchup against the Raiders. Fuck, that is so hard.
That's the only reason is that matchup. And
that is so
injury, but every time you think he's not going to break one, Kenneth Walker breaks one.
But he's just not getting a lot of carries for it. I mean, I think even competing with Charbonnet, I think Kenneth Walker gets more carries.
Yeah.
And more carries equals more opportunities. And you're right. It's Monday night, big lights.
They need a win.
Right.
It's going to be
Okay, so Kenneth Walker, week 1, 20 attempts, dude. With that many attempts, and I don't see anything. There's no indication he's going to be on a pitch count. There's no indication that there's any reason to hold him back. So, all right, Walker it is. That was a hard one, but yeah, yeah. So sit forward. Great question. Damn, these are some good ones this week. These are why they're asking us, because they need to know, because this shit's fucking difficult. Darnold or Baker. Damn, with the questions this week, you guys are killing us. Baker, of course, as we know, he's been underrated. It's just one of those things where everyone's like, "Oh, does Watson suck?" No, the Browns suck. The Browns organization it's where quarterbacks go to die. They're like to quarterbacks what the Titans are for wide receivers, even though Calvin Ridley's actually been doing all right. But anyway, against Philly, it's a middling matchup. He's probably going to score like 18 or so fantasy points. Darnold, I think, has more potential to score more. I'm going to go Sam Darnold.
Yep.
What do you think?
I'm going Darnold.
Darnold for you got double Darnold. There we go. Darnold and Purdy. Dude, did you see what Brock did last week? Did you see that? Yeah, I know they didn't win the game, but without all his guys, he still fucking played. He had the best game of his season. And we're going against New England. No, dude, give me Purdy. What do you think?
Until I see otherwise, I gotta go Darnold. He's just having the blowouts.
It's because you're a fucking Seahawks fan. You son of a bitch. You bastard. Fuck you. Oh, Sam Darnold. Oh, Sam Darnold. Dude, Sam Darnold was Brock Purdy's backup last season. And you're saying that this week you like Sam Darnold over Brock Purdy. Oh, man.
I'm going with what I've seen right now. He's got Justin Jefferson and Addison coming back.
That is good point. But Purdy's got Debo coming back. Purdy's got Kittle coming back.
Yeah.
And without those guys, he had what? Jennings and a pissed off Ayuk.
Right.
That's all he fucking had. And he had 3 fucking touchdowns and one of the best games he's ever had. The dude looked like he, every bit of the fucking the MVP caliber quarterback that we know that he is. And that some people aren't going to be, down with, fucking Nick Wrong every fucking week, pushing the goalpost back further and further and further every time fucking Brock Dirty Birdie Purdy kicks it through.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of leading me over to Brock Purdy again, but it's the matchup. I know these Minnesota and Green Bay games, they're always good. It's going to be some high scoring, but
it's a morning game. It's a morning game. I don't know.
It's sneaky though. Like Green Bay defense is sneaky, so I don't know. That's why
That's a good point.
Purdy.
Yeah,
they've been good.
I'm going with Purdy. He's kind of in the middle. That means go Purdy. All right, Carolyn. What's up? Good to see you this morning. Flexing 4 with Akers or a big swing with Taysom. Let's go Cam Akers.
Yeah, Cam Akers.
I know every time last year you wanted to play Taysom and I was like, don't do it. Then he'd have a fucking game. And this year I'm coming in going, no, Taysom Hill. Yeah. Let's get him a tight end. And he hasn't been doing all that much. Yeah, he's going to have a good game here and there. We just don't know when it is. If you're starting Taysom Hill every week, like if you're in like a tight end premium league and you can get extra stuff with him, in a flex, and you've got some injuries and stuff, I could see merit in playing Taysom Hill.
This is another good one if you're sitting pretty good.
But that's the thing is like he's just not getting much at all. 4 fantasy points week 1, 2.4 week 2. It just, he's not getting. I don't see him getting a lot. He's coming back in off an injury. I don't think that's going to affect him all that much, honestly. It's more just about we haven't been seeing him do it yet. It could happen anytime. I don't know if it's happening this week. I know it's a division game. But it didn't matter. They started off with a division game against Carolina. Yeah. So, I'm not really too big on that. Actually, I see next week against the Chiefs.
Yeah, where they need to get pretty.
I think we see plays. Yeah. I think we see a lot of Taysom Hill next week.
Yeah.
I think he might end up being, here's a little spoiler alert for next week. He might be when I go back to doing the sleepers, he might be my sleeper pick at tight end for next week. But as this week goes, I'm going to go with Cam Akers.
Yeah.
Because he's volume. Yeah. He's going to get touches.
Yeah.
He's guaranteed. That's why. Wait, he's my B. That's harsh. What? I don't know. Let us know what you're talking about there. We must have missed that. How about Dobbins in a tough matchup against Kansas City? Jesus Christ on the questions. Holy shit. I just realized how much. Let's bust through these. How about Dobbins in a tough matchup against Kansas City or Rachaad White? No Rachaad White. Give me Dobbins.
Yeah.
I just do not like Rachaad White this season. I've been down on him. Bucky Irving is almost the running back one. Give me Dobbins. Chuba Achan, half PPR. It's Achan, right? I just keep going with. I know that the offense, for the Finns isn't going to be as good, but I think under Huntley, at least, he'll probably be deferring to Achan a lot. Number one. Number two, they're going against the Tennessee Titans, and that doesn't really scare me very much. So definitely going with Achan. And then thoughts on Snoop Huntley. Yeah. I'm not. Excuse me. Defenses. I don't want to start Tennessee. They're not a great defense. And even what we've seen, and we saw that with the Raiders against the Panthers. Even if your defense sucks, even if you're in a good matchup, it still sucks. All right. Matt Walker coming back. Do I drop Charbonnet from the bench? I wouldn't.
Whoa. Oh, you're talking about dropping them?
No.
Definitely
keep him in there. If something were to happen to Walker, you got a league winner.
Yeah.
Do not drop a league winner to. I mean, don't drop a league winner to the bench unless you really have to. It's still probably not. Mandrew, Sutton, Allen. I could try to start Tyler Lockett and wide receiver slot. It was his birthday yesterday. Okay, so in the flex, Sutton. It's PPR, half point PPR. I love what Allen's been doing. I just until something happens to Hall, I'm not going to trust that every week. Yeah. Sutton, he's the number one target on a team where it's not a great offensive team right now. Knicks is kind of figuring shit out, but last week and actually had two out of 3 games he's had over 11. He's at 11 targets or more. 12 week 1, 11 last week. That it's starting to get better there. I think I like Sutton. It's half point. It's close between him and Allen. I'm going a slight edge over Sutton. What do you think?
Yeah, Sutton. Let's see. Let's start.
Okay, so we got to try to get through this. Start 3: Ridley, Nuck, Tucker, lost. Worthy, Cole. Start 3. Tucker's an interesting DFS play, I think. I really also like Jacoby Myers. We've got Jacoby Myers. You might think about starting him in a flex for those that do with Devontae out. Tucker, though, is an interesting DFS play. I've got him on one of them as like a really low, punt there. Coleman or Atwell. Ridley for sure. Nuck.
Nuck.
Am I? Anyway, we'll probably get some clarification. Let me see if he's clarified that. Worthy, yeah. I'm gonna go Ridley, Worthy, and Atwell.
Yeah.
Unless Nuck is someone good. Just tell us who that is, and I'll tell you what we want. London, Shaheed, and Deontay Johnson are on my roster. Jacoby, Kirk, Pittman on my bench. Do I have it right? I need 3 of those 6 guys. London, Shaheed, Deontay Johnson. If I'm going to substitute one, it's going to be Shaheed, and I'm putting in Jacoby. What do you think?
Perfect. London, Jacoby, and Deontay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Olave is going to get a lot. Shaheed's going to have good weeks, going to have bad weeks. We can't predict that. We know London's good. We know Johnson is good, especially now with Danny Dalton back there. I think Jacoby is going to be the guy. Pittman, we got to – I love Pittman, but damn it, we haven't seen it yet this season. Kirk, we saw it a little bit last week. Right. So, I like Jacoby in there for Shaheed. Otherwise, you got it right, Carolyn. In general, do you like Shaheed? Are you confident are you ever starting him after the goose egg? Yeah, I mean, I think I am in certain situations. I want to see more consistency from him before I'm starting him consistently. So that's kind of my take on that. But in really good matchups where there's going to be a lot of scoring, at least for now, this is, I would definitely, put him in. Depending on, I'm not starting him over any studs. I'm not starting over many wide receiver 1s. Probably not over most wide receiver 2s. But it depends on where it is, but in general, I would definitely hold on to him. I think that he's someone. Go Hawks, yeah.
There you go.
No, fuck that shit. Wait, who are you playing this week again?
Detroit.
Yeah. Duh. Go Lions. With McBride out, pick one likely, Conklin and Ertz. I had this exact same issue in a few leagues, and who I went with was likely. The reason why is upside. Ertz might get some really their floors aren't that far from each other, and likely ceiling is way higher. So I'm going likely. What do you think? You agree? Yeah. Irving or White, both running back. 6 of 1, half dozen from the other. Yeah. So probably 12 of 1 dozen from the other. It's the same. I mean, if you got to pick between them, I guess you're going White for now. But I wouldn't go with either. I would really stay away from that backfield in fantasy until hold on to him, because if something happens to White, Bucky Irving could be a big. But I ain't starting White unless, they really change things, and they're not going to. If they change any direction, it's going to be Irving.
Right.
Hold on to him, but don't start him for right now. How does this affect LeBron's legacy? LeBron could suck my nuts. How about that for his legacy? Anyway, I'm a fucking Blazers fan. Fuck LeBron James. What do you think on Debo? Currently have Christian Craig to put Debo in. Put Debo in. He is playing. He's playing. Put him in. Flex P. Ryan Zamira, Mike Williams. Jesus Christ, that's terrible.
Oh man.
I don't like P. Ryan just because there's going to be so much going on. Hunt's going to be in there. I don't think Hunt's going to be a huge thing, but I think it's going to take a little bit away from P. Ryan. Zamir White. Hey, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm taking the L on Zamir White. Of my running back busts and sleepers, I'm 5 out of 6 correct. I'm taking the L on Zamir White. I don't know what the fuck we saw last season when in the last 4 games, he was a top 10 running back. Yeah. They just, I don't know. I mean, I know the Raiders suck, and that's a big part of the answer. I think that if they make a change at quarterback, if they go with O'Connell, we might be seeing it get better. But until we see that, I can't. It's hard. But over Mike Williams, give me Zamir White. Fucking give me Zamir White, damn it. It's Carolyn Flowers, Diggs, Evans, James. I have Jennings and Judas playing Purdy. Do I stay put or sneak Juwan in there? Keep Juwan out. Yeah, like we said, because Debo's playing. Shaheed or Myers? I'm going Myers this week, definitely with Debo down or Debo with Adams down. Good question, Jeremy. Erica is fire, says Lamara. Is that your boyfriend, Erica? Hey, Daddy O in the house. Good morning. Hey, what's up, Richard? You got a question for me here? Keenan Allen, Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson. Keenan Allen coming back. I know we were talking about this last night.
I have this problem with one of my.
And wasn't this the exact question you had?
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't have Deontay Johnson, but it was either starting. It was Keenan Allen. because we were talking about Roma Dunze.
Oh yeah.
Keenan Allen.
That's right.
Yeah, Deontay.
Yeah, Deontay, just because, I mean, Andy Dalton's there, Thielen's down.
Yeah.
Got to go Deontay.
Yeah.
Coates McGoats, flex Jacoby over Garrett Wilson, or Surtain shadowing him. I get it.
Yeah.
I really have a hard time sitting Garrett Wilson. But if you need a win, if you need something, it's kind of that whole thing. Like if you're comfortable with your team, stick with your studs. If you need a little extra, if you need the boom boom, go with Jacoby.
Yep. He could have a big game.
Keenan Allen and Terry Scary. I like Scary Terry.
Yeah.
It's a fine matchup. They're finally getting a connection going.
Yeah.
Daniels is just getting better and better as the year goes on. I love Scary Terry. He's a buy low right now. Get him now. Get him like this second in the next 18 minutes, or you might not be getting him. What are your thoughts on Hill? Can I sit him for Scary? Yeah, I would.
Oh.
My other wide receiver is Godwin. Go Godwin and Scary Terry.
Yeah.
Just because we don't know. It's not a good matchup. It's not it. Yeah. I'm live from Universal with my lineup question, says Nicholas. Oh, great. Lamar. Hey, welcome. Glad you could make it. Have fun. Lamar or Daniels. Give me Lamar. Never going against Lamar. Irving or Zach Moss. Zach Moss.
Yeah.
Zach Moss. Would you start Akers over ETN? No. We kind of went over that. Great show, says Noel. Thanks, Noel. Go Niners. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Niners are garbage. Fuck
there
you,
we
Mike.
go.
It's hard to sit Wilson, but he'll probably get shut down. That's a good point. Shakir, dude, Mike's answering my questions for me here. Shakir, 100%. This dude's a Bills fan. It's suspect. Kyle, ETN or Ford? People love you long time. Hey, thanks, Kyle. Anyway, I'm going ETN. I'm sticking with ETN. The Bills play a matchup. Shakir is safety blanket for Allen. You might be right there. I do. Is Quentin Johnston for real? I think he is. I thought that coming into this season he was going to, take a little bit of a step up, and he did. I was right about that. And Lad McConkey is going to be a thing too. But I think Johnson is for real. I think we get so loaded. We get these wide receivers. It's happened a lot this season where these first year wide receivers are like blowing it up. So if someone doesn't, we're like, oh fuck, we'll kick him to the curb after one season. I think Johnson's one of those guys. He just needed a season to fucking figure it out.
That's a hard one though.
I like Johnson. I think he's good. Anyway, he's answering questions. Boo, Mike. Don't help him, Tyrant. Yeah. Thanks, Walker's in. You're welcome, buddy. CJ Stroud or Brock Purdy. Stroud, right? Yeah. Yep. Let's go on the questions. 10 o'clock is near. Okay. Goyata, Guillotine Leagues. Who are the guys to empty a wallet on? I just stopped 200 on Brock. Like Saquon, no brainer. Who else? Are we going to go ham on Jeffy? You're not going to see him on there a lot. Go on Debo if he got dropped. But we're going to be extending really that into next week. So we got to see. Come back next week. I might have a better answer for you. But for Guillotine Leagues, and I am in one, I'm doing pretty well in it right now. So we'll see what happens. But, I'm not dropping that much on most quarterbacks, honestly. So a good solid running back, obviously, like you said, Saquon, but I mean, am I dropping 200 plus on JT, for instance, or like Gibbs, or who else? You got any ideas there?
Bijan. I don't know, 200 on Brock.
That's a lot. See, you ran circles with Kirk or Shakir. I was at Ryan's checkout to get home. That bud got you. Yeah, we're answering them off the cuff here, and really, I'm doing all of my research all week. I've got 40 fucking leagues, and I've already got them all set on who I like. It's just a toss up there, but I'm leaning Shakir. I'm going Shakir, and more as this is going on, I'm like Shakir. So there you go. Buy low on Achane. I agree, Mike, 100%. Smith and Jigba or Judy at the flex. Give me Smith and Jigba, 100%.
Yep.
I know you're a fucking Seahawks fan. I'm not, and I'm saying go in Jigba. So that's all you need to know. Yeah, exactly. Got to be Hopkins. Oh, Nuke. Oh, yeah. All right. Absolutely Hopkins. Okay. How do we not figure that out? Also, Thomas is an option. Let's go back up to that question. See if we can find that. Hold on. Boom. Okay. So, Ridley. Oh, because you have both of them there. Oh, fuck. You can't start them both. It's definitely Worthy. And I think it's definitely Ridley. Can you start them both, though? Ugh, that's gross. I just can't trust that. I don't know. You know what? Honestly, over Atwell, yeah, let's do it. Start them both. Ridley, Nuke, Worthy. We don't know what they're going to do with the Rams. It was Atwell last week, but it could be Whittington this week. Yeah. It could be, Robinson. Yeah, it could be Tyler Johnson. We don't fucking know. And I hate going with unknowns. I hate it. So I see, honestly, yeah, Ridley, Nuke or Nuck, Nook, and Worthy. There you go. Try to get cute. We know you're cute, Gus. We love it. Hey, last thing here. So that's it, everyone. Oh, wait, no, we got one last question. Just checking in. You said Sutton over Mark Andrews in the flex. Yes, Sutton over Mark Andrews. I love me some Andrews, but we don't know what's going on. Who is he going to be blocking this week? Is he going to be catching this week? Sutton is the top receiver there. I got you. Wait, did you really want Sutton against Jets D over Mark Andrews? I mean, all right, let me look at something real quick. I know that's running late, but guess what? We're going to be starting earlier next week. We got a late start this week. We were up having a good time, last night, hanging out and stuff. We don't get to do that often. So, had a little earlier or later morning than I would have wanted. So, but next week we're going to start at 8:15. Actually, wait, no, is next week the London games and shit?
Yes.
Hey, I'm going to be talking about this more on my page. If you're not on my Facebook page, go in the description, find it, and head on over to my page. I'm going to be doing a watch along next week for the London game. Okay. So I'm going to be having more information about that as the week continues, but I'll be putting a post up next Saturday night. Okay. So that way, I can advertise it, let you know I'm up to watch the game with you. I'll get up. It's going to be 6 a.m. over here. I don't give a shit. I'll have my shit ready to go. I'll have my answers to your questions. I'll have my sleepers, everything as usual. But I'll be watching the game with you in the morning, getting ready for the rest of the games. So anyway, we were looking at Mark Andrews. Excuse me. It's just he was targeted once last week. I just can't trust it. Give me Sutton over Andrews. Okay, I get it. Yeah, thanks for the help. We appreciate you. Go Niners. And wings for 1:00. Steak and veggies for tonight. Hey, you know what we got going on? We got some pulled pork barbecue sandwiches up in this bitch, and with some special, nice, different. We got different flavors of rolls that we're gonna be putting it on with. I'm gonna make some slaw. I don't even like coleslaw, but I'm gonna make slaw, and I'm gonna make good coleslaw. Fuck the sugar. I'm not putting sugar in my shit. All right, real coleslaw. I'm gonna make for this motherfucker. It's going to be good. We got nachos going with that. Hey, we got a good spread here too. I like to hear the wings. I haven't had wings yet this year, but those are coming. We've been talking about it. I think we're going to do some drumettes and wings next week. But anyway, thanks Ty, thanks Calvin, Calvin and Dobbs. Now you got a new nickname there, Calvin. Hey,
thank you so much for tuning in. We got 10 minutes to look at our shit real quick. I didn't get into the injuries. No one really had questions about that. Go look those up. If you need last second questions about those injuries, go ahead and ask me. But fuck it, let's just do a rundown real quick. Mixon's ruled out. Let's see. What's actually that anyone gives a shit about or that doesn't know. We know Devontae Adams is out. Hey, Nick Chubb's expected to practice next week. That's cool. Nice. We know Olave is going to play. Gabe Davis is going to play. Not that that's all that relevant. Rashad's ill but going to play. Bucky Irving's ill but going to play. I'm not really starting any of them right now unless, if you need to start one of the two of them in a flex, I actually probably am starting Irving. But hopefully you don't have to go there. Deontay Johnson has a groin injury, but he's expected to play. Should be doing fine. Kamara playing. Debo, surprise, he started off doubtful, but now he's actually going to play. We don't really see anything saying that he's going to have a pitch count. We don't know. I'm still putting him in there because if we don't hear pitch count, Kyle Shanahan's usually pretty honest about that kind of stuff. So anyway, Laporta is going to play. Start Laporta. Okay. Hey, there you go, everyone. We got 2 people saying go Hawks, but fuck that shit. Erica, Dawn, sorry, I'm not putting your message up there. But love you all still. Good luck in your fantasy leagues this week. Fuck the Seahawks. Fuck them. Go Detroit Lions. Go Niners. Hey, Vinny. Thanks for joining me this week, helping me with these questions. Good to have you as always, buddy. And we're gonna have some fun watching these games today. Hey, love you all. Thank you so much. Come watch the London game with me next. I don't even remember who's playing, but come join me next week, and we'll early in the morning, and we'll watch the games together. You and I will have some beers. We'll have a good time. All right. Hey, love you all. Until then, I'm out. Peace.